Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network Live. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, man, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that's checking us out live on YouTube and Facebook. Man, get involved in today's episode. Like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, leave myself or the Texas Real Estate King a relevant real estate question in the comments section. And you never know, we may be able to get your question answered on today's show. Man, we have a really exciting show. Today's show is entitled Transitioning to Texas. Hey, man, we're into wealth building. We're here into creating generational wealth. And today's guest is an expert on how not only to transition to the city of Houston, but to thrive here personally and professionally upon touching ground here. I want to take a little time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he is a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network Live. I'd like to introduce to the audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. LarryWBrooks. How are you?
What up, Rick? Man, I'm doing amazing. You know, I'm still coming off of a homecoming high, as they say, which I'm sure is a lot of people out there that can relate to it, because it seems like all the major name brand schools had homecomings last weekend. So I'm still coming off that homecoming high.
Hey, look, man, a big, huge shout out to everybody who made it home to Nacogdoches, Texas this past weekend for the Stephen F. Austin State University homecoming celebration. Yeah. It was a great homecoming celebration, man. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the energy, the people, the weather, but it just seemed like this homecoming just hit a little different, man. So just from your standpoint, because you were there for some of the formal school activities, some of the informal kind of social gatherings. So just from that standpoint, what was it about this homecoming that you felt like made this weekend stand out?
Man, listen, well, first off, man, let me give a shout out to Black SFA. You know, most people know that I probably haven't missed a homecoming. This is not including the days that I played, but I haven't missed a homecoming in over 29 years, right? That I've went back for consistency on homecoming. And, you know, one of the challenges that I've always seen when you're trying to integrate like what the Black SFA has going on versus what was going on with the Alumni Association as a whole, has always been a challenge, just trying to put together a schedule where everyone can participate in everything. Well, I think the stars really aligned this year. They started the game later. The Black SFA had a itinerary that was impeccable. I mean, their itinerary was in sync with everything that was going on with the university. And the team with the Black SFA, man, I take my hat off to them. I give them compliment over and over. Not only were they able to put together great events at night, great events of coming together, communicating, networking, but they were even able to put in a very new venue in downtown Nacogdoches. They were able to put together an event, a day party event. That was a first for us at Stephen F. Austin, having a day party event like that. And it was amazing. The place that they chose was so chic. It was kind of like a Midtown Houston area location, or a Midtown Dallas kind of spot, man. It really came together well. And then every other night and every other event throughout the day, they just did a great job at coordinating. So I really take my hats off. I would put it down as one of the best homecomings that I've had the chance to attend, in those consistencies of not missing homecomings.
No, and I'm glad you had a chance to mention that, because there's so many alumni that we know that don't have the opportunity, that don't live in Texas or aren't in a position to actually be able to make it back to Nacogdoches. And it's hard to explain to them how the homecoming festivities have just totally upgraded since what they remember. So appreciate you for spotlighting that. And I want to make sure I give a huge shout out to the SFA athletic department. The thing that they've done surrounding the stadium, the football game, the tailgating atmosphere is something that I feel like if you haven't experienced it, or if you haven't had the opportunity to take the young kids out to see the SFA Lumberjacks play football on homecoming, man, I think it's something that you'll be pleasantly surprised at. So huge shout out to everybody in the athletic department that's done the thing to bring the game day atmosphere on par with what we may be used to seeing on television or at other schools that we might have been to before. So big, huge kudos to them as well. Yeah,
man. And listen, I actually had an opportunity to be honored too. I attended the board meeting. I got there. We had a board. We typically do our board meetings just before homecoming, the day of homecoming as well. We had board meetings this time. We actually hosted it at the Fredonia. And I got some good news and some bad news for Lumberjack world out there, especially other people that kind of follow me and through my journey. The good news is that I had a wonderful experience, and I will continue to stay involved with Stephen F. Austin. The bad news is that I've given my 3 consecutive terms, and I am now no longer on the SFA board. But I tell you what, the honor and the pleasure that I have for serving over 9 years, and then 12 years, including the times that I just sat on committees, and just consistently being a part of what was going on, has now came to a slight, not end, because like I said, I would definitely still be super involved in what we have going on at SFA, because I believe in Dr. Weaver, who is our new president. I love his vision. I love all of the things that he has coming together. And of course, I love everyone that's on the alumni board. We have a fraternity brother, PJ, that's on there. And just the leadership that the university has going, the direction that we're going in, especially since now we're also a part of the University of Texas system, and just seeing that the money that they're putting in behind the vision that Dr. Weaver has and the board association has, man. So with that being said, again, good news and bad news, but I've given 12 years and 3 consecutive board leadership time on the board. So just wanted to drop that was taking place, man. But it was an honor and a pleasure to be a part of it.
Oh, no, man. Appreciate your service. But who knew they had term limits at SFA, man? So you learn something new every day.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? So look, man, thank you for everything that you do, because not only do you stay plugged in, but you keep us plugged in, other members of the Alumni Association, past athletes from the school. So many people use you as a conduit to find out some of the information that they may not be privy to as they do their day-to-day living and comings and going. So, man, appreciate you for being that conduit between the school and the alumni base.
Yeah.
Larry, we have a really exciting show, because we're going to talk about some of the stories that people have when they transition to Houston, when they relocate, when they move here, when they start their real estate practice in a new city.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about today's guests, how you were introduced to this week's guest, and how you were able to gain her commitment to sit in and talk to us about relocating to Houston with us today?
Yeah, man. So, Libra season is a beautiful time of year. And
yes,
I
sir.
say that to say not only you, myself, but I actually had a chance to meet today's guest at a social birthday event that one of our past alumni, Mr. Darryl Bowes, alumni of Prime Real Estate Network, was hosting. And we had an opportunity sitting down, just having through conversation, and finding out more detail about her real estate career, her real estate journey. And then we had sidebar conversation about just passive income and ways to get to it. And I was like, man, I need her to be a part of this platform. I need her to be able to speak about her real estate journey, be able to give some gems to some of these other people that may be relocating or maybe coming in and they're trying to take their business to the next level, and just knowing how to have the right type of activities, man. So having a chance to sit down and just kind of have a casual conversation and then being able to bring on to the platform. I'm excited. I'm excited to what she has going on. I'm excited to just have her here with us to just be able to share a few of those gems with the audience and, those that are licensees as well as those future buyers that may be tuned in that are looking for somebody that can understand their journey when transitioning from somewhere else.
Hey, look, man, without any further ado, I would like to introduce this week's guest. She is an expert in making that Texas transition. She is a realtor, an entrepreneur. I want to thank her so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network Live. And I'd like to introduce to our audience, Miss Jenise Taylor. How are you?
Hey guys, how are y'all?
How you doing? Gwen,
Thank
appreciate
you so much for
in.
having me, the real estate gurus. Like, man, y'all doing it big. And I am so blessed to be here today.
Thank you so
much.
Blessed.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our first question for you, Miss Taylor, for those in our audience that are meeting you for the first time, could you talk about how long you've been in Houston, how long you've been practicing real estate, and what have you found as the true benefit to being a real estate practitioner here in the state of Texas?
Okay, well, I've been in Houston a little over 10 years. I moved here and I wasn't a realtor when I moved here. I'm a licensed cosmetologist also by trade. So I came in, I started working for a company. And so I was like, let me go ahead and open a suite. So I opened a suite up. And I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. I was like, I had a goal. So I was like, by this certain goal, I'm gonna go ahead and retire from this industry and get my real estate license because I always wanted to have my real estate license. So that's what I did. So now I'm here, and it's been 5 years, and I truly feel blessed. Texas has been good to me. This is probably one of the best areas to be in real estate.
Now, one of the cool things about being able to talk to you is that you've been so open about some of the things you've gone through making the transition. Yes. I know a lot of times, especially when members of your family, close friends know that you're moving, especially to a new area, you almost seem like you're almost like the example. They ask you about what's going on, they ask you how you're doing. Have you found that you've kind of open the door for other people of your family or close circle to think about making transitions? Has there been anyone from your hometown that's followed you to Houston in the last 10 years that you've been helping to motivate and inspire?
Absolutely. I knew once I, set that trend that it would just take off. So I had one of my best friends end up moving. I had a cousin move, so there are people, not even just in Texas, they just moved wherever they felt motivated, inspired. So it's a blessing to be an example that you don't have to stay stuck, but you can, move forward.
But, one of the things we talked about before we started the show is that you had the added responsibility of making an entire family transition. It wasn't just a you thing. No, so could you just talk about what went into that decision, some of the logistical things, and some of the processes that you had to put in place to make that transition easy for you and your family?
So I moved here, single mother of 2 children. I was, divorced for a little bit. And I was like, we got to go. God has something bigger for us. We getting up out of here, okay? So we moved from the Midwest. I'm a Midwest girl, city girl. No, just playing. So we got here, and y'all, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I had because it's so huge in Houston. I didn't know what area to move in with them, what school to put them in. It was God, you told me to leave. Now, what am I supposed to do? So I tried to figure it out myself, and I just got lost, okay? Mm-hmm. And after kept looking for places and schools, this lady, I had spoke to her. She was at an apartment agency, and she was like, listen, ma'am, you're trying to relocate. She was like, I'm going to send you off to a relocator. She's going to help you. She's going to give you a list of apartments, homes, whatever is going to fit you. She asked about my background, my children's background, to help with the move. So once she did that, she got us together. And when I tell y'all, I felt like a burden off of me, and everything just began to flow. It just began to flow. And so with that being said, that inspired me more. I'm like, I knew how that felt when I moved here. I knew how it felt not to know what school to put my children in, what was the best schools, what areas was good. And, in the industry I was in at the time, like I needed to be where, my clients, were. So it just worked out. And so that motivated me. Like, I want to be a relocator. I want to help those to transition from one city to another, or from one house to another, from one apartment to a home. So that is like a passion of mine, just to help others get from one place to the next.
One of the things that you shared during our conversation that I thought was really interesting is that since you moved here from the Midwest, you weren't necessarily emotionally married to any one neighborhood, any one side of town, people who are kind of born and raised here.
Yes.
So I think the clients that work with you, one of the added benefits of working with you is that you are so versed in different areas of Greater Houston. So for someone with your experience, could you share with our audience some of the areas that you have felt are really kind of like really pro those who are relocating, those areas that make more sense for people who may not be from Houston?
Absolutely.
Are there some areas of town that you have found that kind of work better for your clients that are in that particular situation?
Sure. Well, I kind of go down a little timeline real quick. So I lived in Spring Branch, and Spring Branch was super cool because my kids went to the school there, and it was one of the top schools in Houston. But for my children, it was like a culture shock for just like everything. They're still trying to get acclimated. So we were right in the city. So they just started getting into stuff. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm like, y'all stressing me out. I'm out here trying to like make a living. I'm at work, and y'all they at Memorial City Mall cutting up. They like down the street. Like it was so much in the city, right? So I'm like, I got something for y'all. We moving to Spring, right? But man, that traffic. And I had to drive all the way to Memorial because I was in Memorial area at the time. So that traffic was dumb. I'm talking about when I get home, y'all not eating no dinner. Y'all better put some chicken nuggets and some fries in the microwave or whatever, because I'm not about to sit up here and cook. So it was just a mess, like being out that far, okay, for me. I'm like, I gotta find a happy medium, okay? I gotta find a happy medium. So I looked into the Katy area, and that's finally great school for my children. They graduated. It was quiet. It wasn't too much going on, but I still had access to city and to get to what I needed to do. So I think Katy was good for us at, during those transitions. But I'm telling y'all, I went through it, but I had to go through it to see where I needed to be. So now I'm in the Kingwood area. They're grown. They got their own families. They're doing their own thing. So I'm out in Kingwood by myself, and I like it out here. It's good for me. It's quiet, and if I want to go in the city and do some things, I can go in the city, and I can come back home to my peace and quiet.
That's right.
One of the things that's really cool, and I want to ask you, because Larry and I will speak to this because we were raised here in the areas that when back in the day when you would go out to the suburbs, they wouldn't necessarily have those new luxury rental properties. They wouldn't have those new luxury high-rise apartment complexes, condo complexes. But recently, that started to change.
That's right.
So in the areas that you're familiar with, like Katy and Kingwood, what have you found as far as luxury rental options for people who may be in need of something along that they may reach out to you that may be relocated?
You know what I love to tell my clients that's looking for luxury in the suburbs? To me, it is more affordable to live in the suburbs and have luxury. That's what I've seen. Yeah. You want to go in the city, you're going to get city action. You're going to get city prices, just like if you go out like into the city and you want to go have a little cocktail, the drinks is like $20. But if you go into the suburbs, you're going to probably pay half of that. So I don't know, the suburb life, it just is, I don't know. It's like you're getting luxury for a cheaper price. It's so weird. It's so weird to me.
Outstanding.
But that's what I've noticed. What do you guys think?
I appreciate your transparency and candor, because so often, especially from members of our audience that we have a chance to meet at networking events, they always seem to draw so many parallels to our guests. So there are so many, and one of the things that we're really proud of at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm is our student affiliate program.
Okay.
There are so many students that are currently enrolled in real estate schools that are tapped into this show, that tap into our trainings during the week. Do you have any advice for someone who's in real estate school, trying to work through that online education process that may be delaying getting licensed? Is there anything from your licensing experience when you moved to Texas that you could share to be kind of a motivator for a student that might be in that position?
Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a living testimony. I'm a walking testimony. Let me tell y'all, first of all, you have to be careful what you put out, because people would discourage you, okay? So I remember I was telling somebody, hey, I'm going through this transition and I'm about to go from cosmetology to get my real estate license. Yeah. This person literally told me, oh, that's hard. It's hard for people to pass that test. I like a challenge, okay? I love a challenge. So let me tell y'all what I did do, okay? It just didn't work for me. So I went online. I'm like, I'm about to pass these classes. I'm about to go on this online, and I'm just going to work at my leisure, because I was working a 9 to 5 at the time. So I was like, let me just go online. I'm going to go ahead and, y'all, it took me a little over a year, and I don't even know if I got through the first quarter of those classes. So that's when I first moved here, right? So it was almost around COVID time. And I was like, y'all, I'm dropping everything. Like, I literally just dropped everything. And I was like, I'm going full time. So I signed up for Champions Real Estate School, and I just went the full 6 weeks. It was like accountability. Like, that's what I needed. I needed to just be able to go to class, just lock in. And I'm gonna be honest, it is work. You have to put in the work. You have to study. So I passed the state exam at first, but the national I failed the first time. Okay. So I was like, I'm putting 2 weeks in. I ain't going out. I ain't doing nothing. Don't call me. So when I went back the next time, I passed it, So it's like, you have to do your part. You have to put in the work. If it's something you really want, you got to just put in the work.
You mentioned putting in the work a lot when you talked about the testimony of what it took to become licensed. When you think back of your upbringing as a young lady, were there other business owners, entrepreneurs in your family that may have been an example for what hard work looks like that you can reflect upon now and kind of give them their flowers for being what they were to you at the time?
Yes, I can say I have family members that, are hustlers and go-getters like me. I have more corporate in my family, but it was something when I tried the corporate world for myself, I just knew I was a boss. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to my cousins and the people that do have their own businesses. You did inspire me, absolutely. And I seen that it could be done. But ultimately, I have a lot of corporate family members that they still get it. But I just knew that God was calling me to be a boss. Like, I just hated calling in. I hated, hey, I need to take a vacation, or my kid's sick and you telling me I can't leave. Like, you got me messed up. So all of that just drove me to be the boss that I am today.
And I got to ask Larry this. Go ahead, Larry.
No, I was wondering. So as you're building out your current business, like, what are some of the key resources that you enjoy? Like, what do you think brings in the most leads, or brings in, are you a social media type influencer, or you're a go outside network, belly to belly type person? Open houses. I noticed that you do quite a few open houses. I've always enjoyed those. I've always felt like those bring in new and fresh blood, and they promote your business at the same time. But what are some of the gems that you're using right now in your business to continue to grow?
I think you really just touched on everything, honestly. I am the queen of Eventbrite. I'm always on there like, okay, who's having a networking event? You never know who you're going to meet. I love going to kickbacks or just church or just anywhere that there's people. I'm not afraid of people, so I will go to something in a minute and be like, hey, y'all, and have this tag on. Don't even care if the grocery store, sometimes I'll just get dressed and go to the grocery store and have my name tag on because I am a brand. So I have to carry myself as I'm a brand. And with that, I love going to coffee shops. I'll just sit in the coffee shop with my dressed up and with my laptop. What else do I do? I'm on social media. Let me tell y'all, that was a struggle for me going on social media because, you know, people look at you in a certain way sometimes, and you know, they were like, who she thinks she is, you know, and I kind of get that sometimes, but I have to realize I am a child of God. I am who God says I am. So I'm going to put myself out there. If they can be out here, you know, putting on goofy stuff and getting likes and, you know, shares and all of that, why can't I brand myself? So I'm just really tapping in to putting myself out there because I am a brand. If I don't put myself out there, who's going to do it?
That's correct.
Absolutely.
You know, and just to add to that, Eventbrite is also a very good place for those of you that are out there that are hosting open houses. There, you can actually put your open house event on Eventbrite, and you'll probably be surprised at how much interest you'll get. So just a small gem when it comes to that. But I love to see that you mentioned in coffee shops, and especially wearing your name tag everywhere you go. I emphasize that to our realtors at Brooks and Davis quite often because that's how business comes to you. Like you can naturally attract it by being out there in spaces and having that tag on. Don't be afraid. No one's going to ask you nothing that you don't already know the answer to. So, one of my
mentors said, "You are not a secret agent. You are not a secret agent."
That's right.
How they gonna know if you don't tell them?
Got to tell them over and over again.
Let them know. Yeah, absolutely.
Ms. Taylor, for those members of our audience that would love to meet, greet, interact with you on a personal basis, will there be any opportunities? Are there any events that you're headlighting, spotlighting? And when will that opportunity present itself for our audience?
Let me tell you something. If you want to get in contact with me, if you need any resources of relocating, if you are moving to Houston, if you need a home, if you are looking for an apartment and you just don't know what to do, I have a free apartment locating services. I am a licensed professional realtor and I can assist you in any way. Just follow me. Follow me on Instagram. I'm agent_Jenise on Instagram, TikTok, the same hashtag, agent_Jenise, Facebook, Jenise Taylor, and you can see where I'm at through there. But if you need any assistance, you want a good experience, like I treat my clients literally like family. Like we have fun, okay? Like we laughing and they think I'm crazy, but they like, Jenise, when I'm getting ready to get out this apartment, I'm coming to find you, get that home, because I make them feel, comfortable, Yeah.
Outstanding, man. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you so much, Ms. Taylor, for sitting in with us. Larry and I always like to joke that we have our show at the busiest time of the work week for business owners and entrepreneurs. So thank you so much for carving some time out of your busy schedule to sit in.
So much. I really appreciate y'all. This was truly a blessing.
Thank you so much, Queen. We look forward to speaking with you again. And if there's anything come up in the future, please keep Larry and I dialed in, and you always have a seat on the show with us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Absolutely. Same here.
Absolutely. And there you go, Mr. Brooks, man. Outstanding interview with a great lady, man. Really insightful tidbits, and she shared a lot of her experience that I think so many members of our audience can relate to. Man, is there anything about the interview, this week's show, what's been going on last week, or take some time to share about what's going on this weekend in the world of the Texas Real Estate King, man? What's going on with you, brother? How do you feel as far as what's going on this week in your world?
Hey, man, I've been busy. I'm going to be resting this weekend, so I won't be doing very much at all. I'll be sitting back, resting, looking at TV. I went down to Oklahoma went to Texas, Dallas a few weeks in for the Texas-Oklahoma game. Great game. It's never a surprise watching that game. I'll just say this about college football, man. That game is always epic because it does not matter what the team record is, who's good, who's bad, or nothing like that. You get a chance to get into, this is the one stadium I've ever been into, when one whole side of the stadium is red and then one whole side of the stadium is burnt orange. So if your team is not doing good by the end of the third quarter, you'll see one half of the whole stadium leave. And it'll be empty. It'll be like a spring game where everyone's sitting right by each other watching one end of the field. And so it's unique, but it's a funny experience. And then for me, it dives a little deeper because I'm having an opportunity to watch some of my classmates, guys I played football with, sons. Derek Blaylock's sons his son plays running back for Oklahoma. So watching him and he had a good game. They didn't win, but he was getting yards and he was moving the power. But it was just exciting watching my classmates, watching my old teammates, their future prodigies on the field doing amazing things, man. So it's been good. It's been a good journey of college games this season for me.
Oh, no, I agree totally. Huge shout out to the Blaylock family. Only thing about it is it make you feel old fast, man. Because I remember when all them boys was just little children. Now they college men. So big, huge shout out to the fam, man. They're doing some great things. Big shout out to the kids. Yeah. I'm waiting for you to talk about the next trip you taking up to Nebraska.
Oh, man, listen.
I'm waiting for you to get a next Nebraska update, brother.
I know, man. Well, listen, I went down there a few weeks ago. We had a great competition. My son and his roommate are the two strongest collegiate athlete roommate duo in the country. You know what I'm saying? They're not my son and his roommate throwing up heavyweight, baby. And recently you might have seen me take a post because I've always told people my son chose that university because not only did they desire and want him and show him that they want him, but they're the number one powerlifting team in the country. And I showed a list where everyone fell up under them: the University of A&M, Texas A&M, Baylor. Everybody falls up under these guys when it comes to how strong they are and how the momentum of what they win when it comes to national championships. So the next meet actually will be in the Houston area for Larry. So we'll let the world know about that and let them know where it's going to be. But he'll be back home performing his talent in front of the people here. But myself, I'll probably shoot back out in Nebraska in the early part of November. Spend some time with the kid. I thank the Lord that He's afforded me the kind of career that gives me the chance to be able to bounce and go and travel and do the things that I enjoy. So one of the things I do enjoy is spending time with the kid. And because he's 12 to 14 hours away, that doesn't stop. They're going to still come down.
Hey, look, well, you make sure you keep boys tapped in because if he's going to be in H-Town, that's when we need to try to check him out so we can go and say that 14 hours. Yeah. Let you have 12 hours of daddy time. We're going to check him out here in the city. Hey, look, man, huge shout out to LB3. I know how it is when you get to perform in the city. So I'm sure he'll have his best foot forward for when he make his return to H-Town. Hey, huge shout out to everybody at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. Huge shout out to everybody over at the Prime Real Estate Network. Oh, huge shout out to everybody who came out and volunteered at the annual Brooks & Davis Real Estate Home Buyer Summit. Yeah. Great event. Went out without a hitch, man. We're going to help hundreds of families move into their dream homes this year. Is there anything you'd like to share with our audience in closing, Mr. Brooks?
Man, at this time, nothing at all, man. I'm just happy and proud that everything's been coming together the way that it has been. We also shout out to Champion School of Real Estate. Because I was being honored at the board meeting and I had those board duties, I wasn't able to make it this season or this quarter to the Champion School of Real Estate's career fair. But Dion made it, and then Miss Jackie Curry also made it. They said it was a wonderful review. The reception was always amazing over at the gallery location. So thank you to Champion School of Real Estate for continuing to educate our future minds of the licensees when it comes to real estate industry. So we appreciate them.
Oh, man. Great job, man. On behalf of myself, Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, we urge everyone in the audience until next Thursday, when it's time for the Prime Real Estate Network Live, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.